diagram just as that way it'll all go the same. It'll be consistent.
Seeing some participants, but I don't see them. Okay. Can you go on to our website and make sure we know what I'm doing? How do I know that it's?
What are we doing? Right, this messaging is being recorded.
Okay,
I just found it.
I can't see. Screen. Do see participants though coming in, see, oh, I don't see that.
Oh,
This one, try.
yeah, I see. Oh my God.
Okay, you're good, we're letting people
Sorry.
in.
Yeah, can you? Maybe you should make Marie the co-host.
Okay, you can go ahead and start, you're fine. Oh, let me start, sorry. All right, you're good to go. I don't see me up there, do you see me? Okay, welcome everyone to our directors meeting today, November 7th. We are going to have. Got it. We're gonna go, we have a full agenda, and so today we're gonna introduce Diane Freeman, who is here from USBE, and she will be presenting her time and effort reporting slideshow presentation, sorry. What blank, come on in, Diane, thank you.
Hi, everyone. So I need. Okay, well, you're not gonna have to look at me. You need to look at these slides. Okay, time and effort reporting. For those of you who have already had grant funding, you understand that there is some time and effort reporting required on restricted funds. Time and effort is the time spent on a specific program, whether it's federal or state funded. So my email is on this first slide. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm a fiscal monitor over internal controls statewide. I cover all of the programs, so I'm not program specific, which is what you're probably used to having with a fiscal monitor visit. This won't advance.
You want to advance that? Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about what are internal controls, LEA specific policies and procedures, consistency in your reporting, CFR and board rules. I'm sure you've heard of the CFR. What is effort? How is it reported? And we're going to describe my process, which is really, really where we want to get to in this 30 minutes. So internal controls are processes that are implemented by an entity's administration designed to ensure money and resources are used efficiently, effectively, and most importantly, abiding by the rules and regulations. Up at the top, it shows that that's written into Administrative Board Rule R277113-29. The most important piece to time and effort reporting and consistency in documentation for me is producing reliable documentation. That's critical for you as an LEA. And obviously we want to protect the A and create some uniformity of expectations so that way we can reduce the opportunity for fraud, error, all that fun stuff. So I came up with this diagram to show the relationship between policies and procedures. Sometimes we don't know the difference. The policy tells us why we're creating procedures. Our procedures tell us how we're going to implement those policies. And then reference codes are great to give you some sort of support criteria for your policies and procedures. So we say what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and this is the code. We reference the code. I'm showing that you can reverse your process by looking at your procedures and make sure that they address every one of your reference codes, which I'm going to give you 4 of today. I'm gonna skip the quote. You can read it at the bottom. This is the P&P that will save your bacon. It was kind of a cute little thing, but I'm afraid we might run out of time if I tell you the story. So let's go with why create LEA-specific policies and procedures. From here forward, I'll probably bounce between saying P&P, policies and procedures, same thing. You all want a roadmap, and that roadmap will allow the administrators to manage your LEA better. You need that roadmap to kind of follow that yellow brick road. A specific policy and procedure is important because now you have the authority to define those steps and stages that you're going to take along your timeline. I'm always asked, can we just copy the time and effort policy and procedure from another LEA? Yes, but you want to make sure that it's been up to date. So I am working with anywhere between 11 or 12 LEAs at any given time. And at that fact, you will then know that if you just go grab a policy and procedure from an LEA to copy it, it might be under review and it might not be up to snuff. So I think you can do it. You're welcome to copy, but I would just recommend that it's up to date. You also need to make absolute sure that your procedures reflect the unique way that you track your time and effort for documentation. Because if you copy somebody else's language, that's what your auditor sees. And then at the very bottom, your federal and state auditors or your fiscal monitors with USBE. Again, they're going to use this language to make sure you're in compliance. So if you write something in your procedures, make sure you're doing it that way. Okay, for me, this is kind of like a formula. I think it's easiest if you look at it this way. So consistency in reporting, it simplifies the method across all of your programs. It does not matter if it's general funding, if it's federal funding, state, if it's title, special education, CTE. It doesn't matter what the program is or the fund code. If you use the same method of reporting across the board, you're going to have that a lot more simple when you're auditing, because the second line, consistency in reporting, eases the burden of concern during your audits. You do not want to have to go scramble and find documentation, backup documentation, or get extra information, or go ask somebody, how is this reported? You don't want to have to do that. So let's simplify it, keep it consistent across programs, and that will produce my favorite thing, which is reliable documentation. The bottom note is clarifying expectations for administration and staff. This is a big one for the frequency of your reporting and the timeline, because that's going to be in your procedures. So let's just simplify things and make it all in a pretty little package for all of your programs. That's for you visual learners. Procedures plus reporting equals compliance. Okay, so our rules and regulations for time and effort. On the left side, you have the Code of Federal Regulations. This is the big dog. These are the big ones, and you pay attention to that because the 2 CFR 200.430 says, I will create time and effort documentation. I will do these reports. If you bounce over to the right side, these are administrative board rules. R2771135 and 6. Number 5 says that you will create a policy and a procedure. They have to be effective for federal and state or non-federal funding. And then section 6 is that you will have it board approved and posted to the website. Those 3 regulations right there will keep you very close to compliance if you just pay attention to those 3. Going back to the left side, Code of Federal Regulations, 2 CFR 200.334 is your maintenance of records. It's up to 5 years. I mean, it's at least 5 years. So you want to make sure that that's also referenced in your procedures. Okay, this is our big one. Read this list. This is everything that you want to have in your documentation. The one that I want to focus on this slide is right in the middle. Reporting period range of start and end dates. This is not a reporting range of FY25. This is not May of 2024. This is start date January 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2024. It's a start date and an end date. I don't care what the span of time is, but you do, because when you go to your procedures, you have your time frame of reporting in your procedures. What you put in your procedures must be reflected in your actions on your documentation. So first and last name of employee, the actual percentage of effort up to 100% of the program's time and the employee's time, the program activity name, and the associated object code. You want that in your documentation, the reporting range, signature and date of employee and or supervisor. Okay, I'm going to talk about this just for a second. I put and or employee and or supervisor. I am going to encourage you to include this in your procedures, because if you put that you need a signature and a date of your employee and of the supervisor, now at the end of the year, when everybody bails on you on May 29th, but your signature date is June 30th, you don't have anyone there to sign. And so now when you get audited and you're telling our auditors or your fiscal monitors, well, they weren't here. So we thought it would be okay. It's not okay, because what did you put in your procedures? So use the language and or, and then if somebody just walks out that door because they've had a bad day and they're no longer going to sign their timesheet, you guys are covered. Okay, bottom line, document it for single and multiple cost objectives, regardless of your funding source. That's back to the consistency. I love this question. Does it apply to stipends and bonus pay? Absolutely does. And I have a little note for myself that I want to make sure I give you an example of this. So, for example, if somebody is working on Title I and they spend 100% of their time working on this Title I program, and you know it, they know it, everybody knows it, but then you've asked them to come in on a Friday and do something special and you're going to give them a stipend for it. It's program specific. It is tied to the program. So that employee's effort is not reported 100% effort on the program. You seem to get it. It's 100% effort on that program, whether they're getting paid the stipend or their regular salary from it, because effort is tied to the program and then it's reported as that percentage. So your employee is 100% Title I, including the stipend. That's how the stipend funds get reported. Okay. This one, I want you to just take a look at it. This is your example of a semi-annual documentation. Hi. You can see all the details that are on there that I've already been mentioning. This is just one example. You can find this on the USBE time and effort guidance on their webpage. There are several samples of this. But what I want to focus on is that little window on the left. Two terms, period of reporting and time frame of approval. So your period of reporting, as we've talked about, needs to be on your documentation. Start date, end date, period of reporting. It's like your pay period or whatever you guys use. But your time frame of approval, this has to be in your procedures. You need to say, we're going to certify or approve those time and effort reports. And it's going to be done every 6 months, or it's going to be done monthly or annually. There's no requirement anymore, but I'm going to give you a little tip. If an auditor comes in and they say, okay, you've given me 3 years worth of data and you signed them all 3 years after the fact, because that's what your procedures say, how valid is that signature to know if, because of the signature, the certification means I have firsthand knowledge of the work that this individual did on this program. So 3 years down the road, you might not remember. So the more frequent you can do your approvals, the time frame of approval needs to be in your procedures, put it in there and then follow it. Okay, how are we doing on time?
You're good.
Okay.
About 15 minutes.
This one's fun and everybody in the room gets to participate, and I did not bring candy. Okay, so in the past year, at the time of this presentation creation, which was 2 months ago maybe, they had completed 60 USBE reviews, and in those audits, they did special education and title only. Of those LEAs, of those 60, how many do you think had problems with policy, procedure, or process and got dinged?
40.
You say 40?
I know I was one.
Anybody else have a guess? Huh?
Say higher, probably like maybe 70%.
Oh, I meant 40%. 40 of those 60.
40 of the 60.
40 had issues.
Okay. So it was 46 LEAs out of the 60, so 77%. And I just want everybody in this meeting to understand that however you're close your guess was tells you how much training you need. And were you one of them? We have one admitted here. So you probably have either worked with me already and this is a repeat for you, or you're getting ready to work with me because you got nabbed. Okay, so the next one, I think we're getting close to my procedures. Yeah, okay, this is my process. This is the fun thing. So a fiscal monitor is going to come visit you, or they're going to collect everything through Utah Grants digitally, and they're going to do this review with you. They find a problem. If they find a problem with your documentation, or they find a problem with your process that you're following, or they go look for your policy and procedures and it doesn't quite look like it matches compliance, they're going to call me and they're going to say, hey, internal controls, I want you to look into this. They're going to give me the identifying issues. They're going to give me your policy and procedures. They're going to talk to me about the time frame that they want me to talk to you within, because you'll have a deadline. And then they'll give me your documentation if I request it, which I almost never do. I just need your policy and procedure. So after the fiscal monitor issues a finding, it'll either have a fiscal impact to you or not. You'll either be said, I got to have you pay back $19,000. Or it'll say, this is a policy and procedure issue. It can hit you next time if you don't fix it. So let's fix it to get you into compliance. I will contact you. I will invite you to a meeting. I will include all your business administrators or whoever you tell me to, whatever their title is, whether it's inside or outside of your organization. We'll all get together. I can either come to you in person or meet on Zoom or usually Teams. And at that point, you will either accept the meeting or you won't. But this is a service that USB is now offering to collaborate better with our LEAs. Let's assume you accept my offer. When you do, you're going to meet with me for 30 to 60 minutes. It's going to be similar to this. I'm going to be yelling a lot at you. No, I'm just kidding. So what really happens is I'll share my screen. It will have your existing policy and procedure on it, and it's now some color. I'm going to color code my notes. I will talk to you about what the color coding means. We'll go line by line by line, and we will talk about everything you've got in there. What's important for you to note is some of it is important. You've got to get it done to bring yourself up to compliance. Some of it's not as important. They're good suggestions for best practice, and it will help you stay in compliance. It will also be something, a document you can hand to somebody who's new, and they will figure it out rather than having to go through this training all the time with someone. And then the one down at the bottom somewhere, some points in our meeting may just be suggestions. This one, they are suggestions. But I'm going to tell you from an internal controls standpoint that as much as I suggest it, I'm going to explain to you why it helps you. So my role is very much collaborative with you, and you will like meeting with me, so let's work together. Okay, these next two slides are just notes. These are notes that if you get this slide case sent to you, the deck sent to you, you'll have these notes. These are just more detail about what I've talked about today. We're gonna go, you will be able to read more about reflecting your actual time spent. You'll be talking about the citations, which I'm getting to, and your procedure is a step-by-step. The next slide is the second set of my notes. This is a good one. So the good details to include in your documentation is all listed out for you. If you're missing something there, just go add it in. It doesn't matter if it's manual or digital. Go add it in to your stuff. Get it in there. And then your codes to reference at the very bottom. There are 4. We already talked about them. These are big ones. I like them inserted into the language of your policy and your procedure. If you put them in there and then you can reference them at the bottom, somebody will always have a question about it and they can go find the language. My email is on the first slide. My email is on the last slide. Inevitably, every time I make this presentation to someone, I get emails coming in. They want to work with me and they want to get their policies up to date. So for this next year, I'm working on time and effort. That's my focus and that's my presentation.
Awesome. You guys are there any questions here or out in the virtual world? Let's see if there's any questions. Hold on, sorry. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Robert, if you're online, you want to go ahead and share your screen with your presentation, please?
Yes,
Well-
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. So this is Robert Palmer. He is the McKinney-Vento person who's going to go over what McKinney-Vento looks like and any changes. Thank you, Robert.
Awesome, thank you. Can you guys see this screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can just go from the beginning and hopefully. There we go. Awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. It's so great to be here. My name is Robert Palmer. I am the McKinney-Vento specialist at the Utah State Board of Education. I also am over migrant education as well. I've been doing that for the past 16 months. Prior to that, I was in the after-school world and I worked with some after-school grants, an intergenerational poverty grant, as well as the program quality enhancement grant. Those grant programs, unfortunately, the funding went away because of the legislature. And then I also oversaw the Partnerships for Student Success grant program, which is still being housed at USB, but under the direction of my colleague and friend, Jeff Ojeda. So today I'm super excited to be here to talk to you about the McKinney-Vento program and specifically the requirement that all LEAs, so every school, charter school, district, and the requirement to have a liaison to help the students who are experiencing homelessness. So we're going to go ahead and get started. As you can see, there's my phone number, there's my email address. The McKinney-Vento Act provides a number of LEA requirements for serving homeless children and youth, and there's the citation for that. And under the McKinney-Vento Act, like I just said, every local education agency must appoint a local homeless education liaison, regardless of subgrant status. So even if you are not receiving funding for the McKinney-Vento Fund, even if you are a charter school, you still do need to make sure you have an appointed local homeless education liaison. Now, some people have multiple hats. They're not just a specific person that's only McKinney-Vento. They have other roles in the school, and that works just great. No worries there. So McKinney-Vento means individuals who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence, and children and youth who are sharing the housing of other persons due to the loss of housing, economic hardship, or a similar reason. Children and youth living in motels, hotels, trailer parks, or camping grounds due to lack of alternative adequate accommodations. Children and youth living in emergency or transitional shelters, cars, parks, abandoned buildings, substandard housing, and public spaces not meant for habitation. Those are things like, bus stations or train stations, things like that. So I belong to the federal programs. I work under Dr. Max Lang. I think some of you might know Max. He's wonderful. And it's in the ESSA Part B, and the McKinney-Vento Act is also incorporated as Title Part B and the homeless set aside requirement under Title I. And the LEA must continue a homeless child's or youth's education in the school of origin for the duration of homelessness and for the remainder of the academic year if a child or youth becomes permanently housed during an academic year. Enroll the homeless child or youth in any public school that non-homeless students who live in the attendance area in which the children or youth is actually living are eligible to attend. And once again, there's the citation for you in the law. And school stability is really important for us. We want to make sure that these children and youth are able to have their best interests met. So we presume that keeping the child or youth in the school of origin is the child's or youth's best interest, except when doing so is contrary to the request of a child's or youth's parent or guardian, or in the case of an unaccompanied homeless youth, the youth themselves. Consider student-centered factors related to the child's or youth's best interest, including factors related to the impact of mobility on achievement, education, health, and safety of homeless children and youth, giving priority to the request of the child or youth's parent or guardian, or once again, in the case of an unaccompanied homeless youth, the youth themselves. Provide a written explanation of the reasons for the LEA's decision, including information regarding the right to appeal to the parent or guardian of a homeless student or an unaccompanied homeless youth if the LEA sends a child to a school other than the one requested. And ensure, in the case of an unaccompanied homeless youth, that the local liaison assists in placement or enrollment decisions, gives priority to the views of the youth, and provides notice of the right to appeal and LEA's best interest determination that is contrary to the youth's request. So what's the liaison's role? And this I think you'll really enjoy. It's an important role that really is a benefit to your school, to your community as well. The local liaison is the key to ensuring homeless children and youth receive the services they need. It's required in all LEAs, regardless of subgrant status. The liaison is the primary contact between homeless families, the school, and LEA staff, shelter workers, and other service providers. So the liaison responsibilities, the McKinney-Vento Act lists the responsibilities of the local liaison, will ensure that homeless children and youth are identified by school personnel through outreach and coordination with other agencies. They are enrolled in and have full and equal opportunities to succeed in school, and have access to and receive educational services for which they are eligible, including Head Start programs, early intervention services under Part C of the Individuals with Disability Education Act, and other preschool programs administered by the LEA. Homeless families, children, and youth receive referrals to healthcare services, dental services, mental health and substance abuse services, housing services, and other appropriate services. The parents or guardians of homeless children and youth are informed of the educational and related opportunities available to their children and are provided with meaningful opportunities to participate in the education of their children. Public notice of the educational rights of homeless children and youth is disseminated in locations frequented by parents or guardians of homeless children and youth, so like the main office, maybe in the cafeteria, including schools, shelters, public libraries, and soup kitchens, in a manner and form understandable to parents and guardians and unaccompanied youth. If there is an enrollment dispute, those are mediated according to the law, and there's the citation there. Let's see. The parent or guardian of a homeless child or youth and any unaccompanied homeless youth is fully informed of all transportation services, including transportation to the school of origin. School personnel who serve homeless children and youth receive professional development and other support. I would provide them with the professional development. We just last week held our semi-annual McKinney-Vento meeting. We have one in the fall and one in the spring where we get all the liaisons together and we have different presenters come and we go over things and work through scenarios together so we can, it's really a cohesive unit where there's a lot of collaboration and we work together. Unaccompanied homeless youth are enrolled in school and have opportunities to meet the same challenging state academic standards established for other students and are informed of their status as an independent students and assisted to receive verification of their status for completing the free application for student aid. It's also referred to as FAFSA sometimes. Okay, student privacy and rights is a big part of this one. Please treat information about a homeless child or youth's living situation as a student education record and not deem it to be directory information. Use the term McKinney-Vento in any open conversations regarding students in a homeless situation. Disclosing the student and family, our McKinney-Vento is on a need-to-know basis, and that will become very clear of who would need to know that. And it's mostly just to make sure that they're getting the services that they need. Okay, comparable services. We want to make sure we provide services comparable to those received by other students in the school. Funding for services provided to non-McKinney-Vento students should also provide for those same services for the McKinney-Vento students. Be sure that you are tracking and have proof of McKinney-Vento. ARP has gone away. We're still spending that down. That was the COVID relief funding. There are some LEAs who still have that funding. Title I set-aside expenses. My colleague Val Murdoch at the state board oversees that portion of it. Coordination of provisions. Coordinate with local social service agencies and other agencies or entities providing service to homeless children and youth and their families, including services and programs funded under the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act. And there's the citation for you there as well. Student identification is obviously something we want to do. We want to be able to know who these students are and to be able to get them the support and services that they need. So a key responsibility is to identify possible homeless students and identify them as McKinney-Vento students. Liaisons should be actively seeking McKinney-Vento students throughout the year through various means to identify the most students. Once identified, students should be informed of their rights under the law, and services should begin immediately. The USBE does have an MOU in place with the Utah Homeless Management Information System. This service is available to all who wish to use it in their duties as a liaison for their charter school or district. And I put a hyperlink to their presentation that was sent to me so that you can look through and see if it's something that would be of benefit to you at your school. And that is my presentation today. Just grateful for the opportunity to present. It's a program that I think is really important. I really enjoy overseeing it. I've enjoyed working in the past 16 months with Marie Stephenson and with Betty Jimenez. It's just been wonderful. And we even had a couple people representing their charter school at our fall meeting this year, which was also great to see. So thank you very much.
Are there any questions for Robert? Okay, thank you so much, Robert. Norma, are you ready to present? Thank you, Robert. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you as well.
All right, goodbye. Okay, I'm not sure if Norma's here yet, so we're gonna go ahead. I'll just run through some of our updates. Also, we have a video that West Ed has been working with some of our schools. And we're gonna go ahead and play that now. It's an opportunity for some of you to apply if you would like to have them work with your school. Give me 1 minute, we should be able to do work. I'm gonna start it again because you couldn't hear it. Okay, we should be good now.
Lead Forward, the Mentorship Network. West Ed and the Utah State Charter School Board are excited to invite you to participate in the second cohort of Lead Forward, the Mentorship Network. What is Lead Forward? Lead Forward is an opportunity for Utah charter schools to participate in a dynamic partnership that fosters shared learning and meaningful change. Over the next year, you could be partnered with a mentor charter school in Utah on a focused area of academic support. As a mentee school, you will learn directly from another school on a proven strategy that is key to their success. Whether it's curriculum design, student engagement, or school culture, you'll gain valuable insights from an experienced educational leader that you're paired with, whose strengths align with areas you want to improve. The mentorship is not just about theory. You will learn alongside your mentor school from February through December and gain knowledge and resources you can implement immediately. Plus, we'll provide a $1,500 stipend to each school to offset costs related to the time and energy it takes to participate in the partnership. This past year, Lead Forward had 6 Utah charter schools participate, 3 mentor and 3 mentee schools, 100% of whom stated in exit surveys that they are likely or very likely to apply content from these sessions. Let's hear from Peter Allen from Bear River Charter School, a mentee school that participated in Cohort 1, about the impact Lead Forward has had for him as a leader and for teachers at his school.
So from our standpoint, we had about 10 to 12 schools to pick from. And they said, hey, these are schools with promising practices. Is there something here that you feel would benefit your school? And so that was one that we really identified, because again, we'd already seen that there was a lot of work that needed to be done on professional learning communities. We have a great little community around us of other charter schools, and we meet every couple of months to get together as leaders and we talk about what's going well. But we don't get to dive into the nitty-gritty of our internal organization and what we're doing. And so that was one reason why we said we wanted to invest the time to do this, was we felt that the mentoring was really valuable.
We would love for you to be part of Cohort 2. Get matched with the Utah Mentor School, receive free targeted professional development, and create a lasting impact on your school. Show your interest today by filling out our survey via the QR code or link on the screen. We hope to hear from you. Questions? Feel free to reach out.
So they wanted us to present, but I don't know, I'm not sure what questions I could answer, but if there are questions, I can see if we can answer them. Does anybody have any questions, even out in the virtual world? Okay, looks like we're running way ahead of time, so that's probably why Norma's not here. She's not scheduled until 2:30, so I'm just gonna go ahead and speed up the agenda items. So Ryan Bartlett sends out a lot of emails to everyone, and we just feel like sometimes not everybody's reading it because I know there's tons of emails. So every month I'm going to go ahead and kind of update everybody on some opportunities that are out there that are available. So Ryan Bartlett is the person, Bartett, I believe. Bartett. I can't even read my handwriting. So he sent out an email regarding the opportunity to apply for the Child Sexual Abuse and Human Trafficking Prevention Alternative Provider Choice Grant. So the due date on that one ends November 24th. So that's kind of why I'm bringing it to you. There's still a little bit of time to research it if you want to see if that's something your school would like to apply for. Just go ahead and check your emails for Ryan Bartlett. He'll have that there. On then October 23rd, 2025, he sent out at 2:58, he sent out another message regarding the USBE Crisis Response Support Team, which is CRST. They have expanded its resource library, which includes translated materials in multiple languages. So that might be helpful for some people also. These resources will support your schools, communities in responding to crises such as hoax threats, brief events, and emergency communications. So just kind of, if you want to look that up, like I said, he sent that out October 23rd, 2025. And then we do have some positive news. October 1st enrollment report has shown that our charter schools gained a 4.1% increase from last year. And this also meant we had 3,394 an increase of the students by 3,394. So yes, so that was great news. So I just want to kind of present that to you too. We also have, hopefully we can get it up on the screen. I don't know if this, or should I share it from mine maybe? Amy Pace, who does work with us, she's our team member, is the one that's in charge of the newsletter. So give me a minute and I'll see if I can share it on my screen here. 1 second. Okay. I need this bigger. I can't get it. Okay, So she, oh, this is the lead forward. No, I just had it. Okay. It's not a media. I'm not sure why it's going to media. Let's try this thing. Anyway, Amy Pace is the one that does our newsletter, so she is asking anybody that would like to, just let her know if you're having any type of activities, any type of fall activity, something that really, really shows your school's dynamic, to please send it to her. She is, wanting to start, I'll read it to you. So I'd love to feature the amazing things happening at your school in the November issue of the SCSB newsletter. If you have a fun or impactful event, project, or celebration from this fall, please send a short write-up. A few sentences are perfect, and a couple of photos, so she can include in the next newsletter. Please ensure that all photos submitted are okay to use on any social media site or other future publication. Your stories help highlight the incredible work happening across the Utah's charter school. And there it is right here where you would send your submissions, Amy Pace at schools.utah.gov. If you could do that by November 14th. And I'm sure if there's other months that you are doing something and you want her to highlight that, I'm sure she'll include that into the newsletter. I'm still waiting for Norma. Is she logged in yet? Are there any questions just out there in the virtual world or out here that you have? Anything that you would like to see presented? Because, you know, I can work on getting those types of things, up and running for us.
I should have to repeat the email for newsletter.
Yes, let me get back over there, sorry. Oh, it's Amy Pace, sorry. I know that.
Amy.pace, right?
Amy.pace at Utah schools .utah.gov. Did I say that right?
I just shared it.
Okay, so it is shared in the chat so that you can send that over. We have done some 5-year comp reviews, and seeing your schools is it's so amazing to see all the wonderful things that are happening in Utah and how different all the schools are. Totally impressed. So I know there's a lot out there that can share some wonderful things that are happening within your school. We'd really like to highlight our schools and make sure everybody knows what's going on in Utah. It's amazing. Is she here yet, Norma? Okay, we're just gonna wait for Norma. She should be on here shortly. Let me see the chat. We just shared that, right? Okay. I'm not sure exactly. I don't have her presentation, so I cannot help you with that, but I don't know if you guys want to wait for her. She should be here shortly. But we're running really, really fast. Let me email her and see if I can ask her to log on now. Other than that, anybody else want to add something? Kind of a quiet meeting. Yeah, we'll take a quick minute break and let me just see if I can get her to log on now. And she's gonna join us remote, so I know she's at her computer, so it's not probably. Okay, see if she'll log on now. Okay, the silence is weird. Let me go ahead and introduce, are you okay if we introduce you? Are you okay? No? Sure. Yeah. Let's have you have some nice words. I don't know if you want to come up here because I don't know if the owl is following your voice. Let's see. You're coming. Look, I guess you have to come over here. So this is one of our new board members. I know that we've talked about having board members, so yes, you're like.
Look at that.
This way.
If you look at that
If
speaker,
I,
There's a speaker right here,
the
that's
speaker on the table.
right here, this speaker
The camera's.
is looking at you. So you can adjust
Wow.
yourself to the speaker. I don't know if there's something you would like to say or.
I'll just introduce myself.
Oh,
My name is, that's okay. That gives me something to say.
Okay.
So, Stacy Hutchings, new board member, really excited about that. Currently, I've been the director at Kerpath High for this is my 10th year. We're on the campus of Davis Technical College. Before that, I was at Utah Virtual Academy, and that's kind of my charter experience. Let's see, what else? Actually, one thing I was gonna say might be interesting for at least the high schools, the charter high schools, just to have a heads up about, something that I've been working on. First is First Credential. If you've heard about that legislation passed last legislative session. And there's an executive committee right now that I'm on that is creating the rules and the process for First Credential. And basically we're creating 5 different pathways that high school students could earn what they're calling now a first credential as while they're in high school that gives them some, college level experience. And so there's ways through concurrent enrollment, there's ways through just the career certifications, there's technical college, there's CTE pathways, and of course, there's the 5th one that is eluding me right now because I'm talking to all of you. But you'll see some things going on in the next legislative session to put into statute some of the rules for that. They're creating a master list, so pretty soon you should be able to see what qualifies as a first credential. There's funding for the schools and how they participate in first credential. There's also now scholarship money for students who participate and earn their first credential. So it's kind of a cool thing. It's taking the place of the Prime Scholarship, if you're familiar. And then another thing that might be of interest that's being worked on is they're bringing actually concurrent enrollment to for technical colleges. And so they're adding.
No, we're looking to.
They're actually adding, previously concurrent enrollment has only been applies to degree granting institutions. But now they're going to pull in technical colleges. So students can earn through different CTE classes, earn concurrent enrollment credit for technical colleges, which then a lot of the technical colleges you can then transfer to degree granting institutions. And so right now they'll be taking the articulation agreements between USHE and USBE, CTE strands and standards, and they have alignments. They'll have a master list, and the goal is to have that concurrent enrollment program available next school year too. So there's a lot going on in that space that I'm really excited about, and hopefully you will be too. So
Well, thank
there you
you
go. Thank
for
you.
that impromptu filling in, and I apologize. I mean, there is something else that I want to bring up while we're waiting is our attendance team, USBE's attendance team is doing wonderful things, and we do also have a webinar that's going to be coming up November 18th. And that is actually people that have questions. Let me double check the date. People that have questions with the legislative sessions and things like that, they're going to talk about what you can do, because we do know that attendance has been an issue. I apologize, I'm trying to get on here, has been an issue with some of our schools, and so this will help you just get some of your questions answered. I'm trying to get signed in, sorry. This is crazy, okay. Let me get that for you, let me see if I can get it on my phone. But it's a wonderful webinar, and a lot of information is going to be presented during that webinar, and let me just find it here. Oh. Let me know when she logs in. Here it is. Okay, so let me share my screen. And I know there have been questions about what are we gonna do with attendance, and I know there's like a cohort that has also a cohort of charter schools, so that's been great to hear that people have reached out. There we go, maybe. Okay, no, yes, okay. So this webinar, as you can see, is November 18th at 10:30 a.m. And so when you look down at the last presenter where it says questions about attendance legislation, clarifying key laws and responsibilities to support the attendance efforts. So I know I've seen that there's a lot of people that are out there that are interested in this. So I definitely want to make sure that you guys see that it's going to be very beneficial. Just that little section alone is beneficial to a lot of people. So looks like we have Norma that's coming on. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for the moment. If you have any questions, please let me know. Appreciate it. And let's see, Norma, I'll go ahead and let you share your screen.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if I can do this.
And thank you for accommodating our time. I don't know how it went so fast, so I'm like, whoa. I think what happens is usually in a lot of in-person meetings, you have a lot of questions. Virtual, not so much. So I'm gonna have to accommodate for that too.
I know you are fine. Alrighty, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So I should introduce you. I don't know what's wrong with me today. This is Nora Mata. She's with the USBE, and she's going to be talking about the Direct Step Stipend Project. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Norma Mata, and I am the Participant Support Cost Program Specialist for the Special Education Department at the Utah State Board of Education. And I help oversee the Direct Step Stipend Program aimed at providing training for special education instructional professionals. I apologize. Windows are getting in my way. Okay, so why are paras so important in the classroom? Instructional paras are imperative in aiding our teachers throughout our state. They often work one-on-one with students who receive special education and related services, or those who may be in a 504 plan. They can also provide assistance to students who may be falling behind in school, and even aid students who are English language learners. The Utah State Board of Education recognized the importance of instructional paras in the field, and even more so to our special education teachers and students. This is why our agency came up with a plan to help strengthen the work SPED paras do by purchasing access to the Direct Step online library, which offers self-paced online courses on legal and regulatory compliance training. Courses are self-paced, easy, and as an incentive, the Utah State Board of Education offers a one-time stipend of $20 for each of the 34 eligible courses. So how does the program work? Special education directors submit a list of eligible instructional SPED paras via a Google form. When we take those names and create a trackable record of each participant and add them to our system. Once that's done, an invitation email is sent out informing each special education para about the program and how to get started. What's great about this program is that funding is covered by the Utah State Board of Education, so neither the LEA nor the instructional para have to pay to participate. As with any project, there are a few requirements that must be followed. So here's a few of them. Eligible direct step courses must be completed outside of contract hours. Participants must be a special education instructional paraprofessional actively working with an LEA. A direct step account is required. Courses must have a final score of 80% mastery or above. All statement of assurances forms must be filled out and signed, and participants will be required to eventually create a PaymentWorks account. Some of the frequently asked questions that we get from the LEAs and our paras are, can SPED paras sign up for the program on their own? No, they cannot. SPED para names must be submitted to our office throughout their special education director. If a para ever reaches out to us about joining our program, they will be advised to reach out to their special education director. Are all courses found in the Direct Step online library eligible for the stipend? No, not all of them. Eligible courses for the $20 stipend only apply to the 34 courses that start with the sequence 3500. And can participants receive the stipend multiple times? No, this is a one-time stipend. So each participant can only be awarded the stipend one time, regardless of school, district, or name change, but are welcome to revisit the course as many times as they like as a refresher course. That is just a small glimpse of what our program offers to SPED paras. If you guys have any questions or would like more information about the program, please feel free to contact me. You could contact me directly at my email, or you can also reach out to the para inbox that we have, which is paras@schools.utah.gov. We also have a Padlet that I can share with you guys if you guys send me an email to check out. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, happy to answer any of them right now.
I don't see any questions. Any questions out here? No. Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Norman. You have a wonderful day and thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end our meeting. It's early, so a whole half an hour early, or well, 15 minutes early than we anticipated. Hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next month. Thank you.